Discover a New Future presents tips for eating healthy on a budget or on the run with ShopRite Dietitian April Crowley.
When you hear the word diet, what comes to mind?
Restriction for most people, it seems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's not a good feeling, I must say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's cut the diet mentality and help us to see how we can pace mindful eating.
Yeah.
And fun eating also.
That's why I love this segment, because the word diet just means the foods we eat and how we eat. But we've taken that word and we've turned it into something that is like a dirty word to a lot of people. People think they have to restrict and they have to cut things out. And that's really not what a diet is. A diet's just how you're choosing to eat and the lifestyle you're choosing to live with the way you eat. So mindful eating, really the idea behind mindful eating is that we're not stressing about food. We don't want food to be a stressful thing. You know, food is something that we need to survive, but it's also a really enjoyable thing. And there's also other things that go along with food, all of the fellowship in the community when you share a meal with somebody. So we really want to focus on those things and get away from this idea of restriction and eliminating and, you know, really just have people embrace real food is really what we're going for. So one perk of my job in the store when I do counseling and I do store tours is that I get to work with people from all backgrounds. From all education levels, from all, you know, all walks of life, really. And I get to meet everyone where they're at. So no day is the same for me. Every day is something different because I get to meet someone new who's on a different journey, who is somewhere different in that journey. So I get to actually figure out where they're at, what they're willing to do, and what they're capable of doing. And then we can work from there. So we really can do an individualized approach to eating, which is so helpful, I think, for people. So we have talked before about the new My Plate guidelines. So this is the new plate. The idea now is to make half of your plate fruits and vegetables, and the other half split between grains and hopefully whole grains, and then some lean protein. So this is kind of the new breakdown of what we want your plate to look like. And again, it's going to vary from meal to meal, but overall, this is kind of the goal. So when we're talking about this, we are going to look at 2 meals and actually see this kind of in practice, because I think it's a lot easier when you actually visualize what it looks like. So we have over here kind of a standard plate of pasta. So this is regular white semolina pasta with some tomato sauce on it. Does this look like something you would maybe sit down and eat?
Yes. Well, not now.
Okay.
In the past, yes.
You took my class, so we're at a different place now. So for a lot of people, this is a pretty standard plate of pasta. If you go out to an Italian restaurant, this is pretty standard of what you might get. This is actually more than 2 servings of pasta.
Oh, wow.
So it's more than 2 servings of pasta, more than 2 servings of sauce. So remember when we talked about the food label, everything that you see on that label, we're multiplying by 2 to figure out how much is in there. So with this plate of pasta, just pasta, we're getting 720 calories.
Ooh.
We're getting 860 milligrams of sodium.
Wow.
We're getting 10 grams of fiber, which is pretty good, and 25 grams of protein, because pasta actually is a decent, okay protein source, even the white pasta. And it's actually, this meal is actually a pretty good source of B vitamins, because the pastas and flours are actually enriched with some B vitamins. So there is some B vitamins there is some nutrition there. But now we're going to go over to a different plate. So what does this one look like?
The My Plate.
It looks like the My Plate, yeah. So again, half the plate is the fruits and veggies. I added in some sliced almonds there for a little extra crunch and some extra fun and some extra protein. And then the other half, this is actually 1 serving of pasta. So this is 1 serving of whole wheat pasta with 1 serving of sauce, just half a cup. So looking at this plate, we're getting the same amount of food. There's no difference in the amount of food you're eating. This one has 450 calories.
Wow.
So almost 300 less calories, 495 milligrams of sodium. So
almost half.
Yeah, a little bit more than half of the sodium of the other dish. We have 13 grams of fiber, so 3 more grams of fiber. And we do have a little less protein, I will say, because we're not getting all the protein from all of that pasta. But what we're getting in its place is a good source. Remember, we said earlier a good source is 20% or higher of your daily recommended. So we're getting a good source of vitamins A, C, K, folate, iron. We're getting a good source of a whole host of vitamins and minerals for the same amount of food. So, you know, when we're talking about this kind of mindful eating and this kind of mentality of what to put on our plate, really you want to think about what works for you, and maybe not make a massive change, but maybe making some small changes just to kind of maximize the amount of nutrition you're going to get in that meal.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That looks delicious.
I know.
Wow. How can people find out more about it? Because, you know, it's easy to talk about this, but that putting it into action is where the challenge comes in.
Definitely. So again, one of the benefits of my job is I get to work with people on a one-on-one basis every day for free for customers. So I get to actually sit down and, you know, do swaps like this on things that they eat. So maybe it's not pasta, maybe it's, you know, chicken and rice, like maybe it's something different. So trying to find healthier swaps for them. So, you know, all of those services are free for customers and free for the community. And if anyone is looking to see a ShopRite Dietitian, they can go to ShopRite.com/wellness and click on health events to find a dietitian near them, or they can call 1-800-ShopRite and ask us to find a dietitian near them.
Wow, wow. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm salivating over that meal.
We have lunch right over here. We'll share this.
Yeah. Have you ever been to the supermarket and said, I'm just going to get one thing, and you walk out with a whole cart of things?
Yeah.
And sometimes you go home and you're putting them away and you realize that you have 10 of one item already.
Yeah.
That's the reason why shopping with a list is so important, because we can save so much money if we are really focused and deliberate in terms of what we're purchasing.
Yeah.
So please share with us today how we can save some money.
So shopping with a list, really, there's a lot of benefits of shopping with a list. One is it does help you save time, actual physical time in the store. It also does help you save money. If you're planning ahead, you know what's on sale, you know what's, you know, what you have coupons for that week. So, you know, it's definitely a way to save money. And also, you know, shopping with a list can just help you plan out a little better if you're trying to eat healthier. So, you know, by not going, you know, off the top of your head when you get to the store, you can ensure that you're getting, you know, your fruits and your veggies and everything that you're intending to buy when you get there. So I have a couple of tricks for this, kind of giving my own strategies here. So I have my very first trick. I have a pad with a magnet on the back that I keep on the side of my fridge. So this is kind of my way, especially with a family, if you live in a house with other people, it can be like lost communication. Somebody may finish something and then they forget to write it down, they forget to tell you. So this way, I keep a list there. My husband, my kids, they can just add anything to the list as they run out of it. And then also for me, it gives me an idea of, you know, the staples that I'm running low on. So if we're running low on milk, you know, those things always fall onto that list. Once I have that list and it comes time to actually go grocery shopping, I start looking through my pantries. So I look through, I see what I have that maybe is needing to be used, especially the freezer is a great place to look if you're planning out your grocery trip. Maybe you had chicken in there that you bought a little while ago and you want to use up. Yeah. Or the frozen vegetables we talked about earlier that, you know, you want to make sure you're using those within 8 months of buying. So maybe like take a look and see what you have that can actually be worked into your meals for that week, just to save on a few things that you need to buy. Once you have that, then you go through the circular. And this is always my trick. If your store has a circular, this is an awesome trick. There are so many good sales in here and so many good coupons. So a really great place to look and see, you know, maybe you have in your mind, we need fruit for snacks this week, but you don't know exactly what. You look through the circular and, you know, this week clementines are on sale and I know tangerines are on sale in my store and those are delicious. So, you know, maybe you're finding something that's on sale and that's affordable, and then it's a good way to work in some more color and some more variety and more fruits and vegetables into your day. So that would be my next trick. And then this is where I get a little crazy. So it gets a little over the top to some people, but if you know your store, then this shouldn't sound too crazy. I take my list and I actually organize my list by the way I walk through the store.
Oh, wow.
So I'll
Really?
start. I do. I know this sounds a little crazy, but when you think about it, in the long run, it actually saves you so much time. So I'll organize my list and I'll put all my produce up top, and then I'll put my grocery staples, and then I'll put my meat and my dairy items at the bottom, because those are the cold items that you don't want to have sitting in your cart for too long. So I organize my list like that. What that helps me do is not go into the same departments over and over and over and over again. It really helps you save time, especially when you're you know, in a rush. Last thing you want to do is just be stuck because you keep forgetting something you have to go back for. So by doing this, you know, you can really help organize yourself as you walk through the store and walk through the aisles. and keeping in mind, the things that are on sale, just to make sure you hit all of those items and you don't miss out on anything. So I think those are really great. If you're someone who uses a paper list like I do, which I know some people think is like archaic, like who would ever want to use a list and like sit there and write things, cross things off? Again, we come back to my type A personality where like crossing things off a list are really satisfying. So I really like that. But some people like to work on their phone. They like to use their phone. They like to use an app. So there's a lot of really great apps out there. ShopRite actually has an app that we use that lets you load up your Price Plus card onto the app. You can download coupons, and then you can also there's a shopping list on there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so
That's
you can
cool.
actually, and it organizes it by department. So you can actually do the same kind of thing I'm talking about right on the ShopRite app.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And as you're walking through the store, you go through your list. When you finish, you just go right back to the home page, and you can actually scan your Price Plus card and have all those coupons and all the savings taken right off.
Wow.
Exactly. So much easier. Another thing that I really love is we keep talking about the My Plate. So the My Plate was actually a guideline that came from the government, from the USDA. They have a website called choosemyplate.gov. Great resource. There's some really wonderful interactive tools on there, and one of them is actually create a grocery game plan grocery list. So I really like this. So how it works is it actually breaks up your list into food groups. So it has fruits, it has veggies, it has grains, it has proteins, it has dairy.
Do we have a picture of that?
I think we do have a picture of that.
Oh, okay. Well, there it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when you actually go onto the website, it actually lets you click on each of these lines and type in what it is you're looking for.
Really?
And then you can just print it out at the end.
That is so cool.
So a couple of benefits here. One, it's nice and bright. It's really fun to look at. It's an easy list just to keep adding things to. But one thing that I really like about it is that we keep talking about everything in moderation and how we want to get more fruits and veggies, and we want to try and, make half the plate fruits and veggies and half the proteins and grains and then add some dairy in. So this actually can give you a really nice idea of, do I have enough fruits and veggies in my cart?
That's true.
Am I actually getting enough to hit that goal for the week of what I'm trying to achieve? So this can be a really nice way to kind of, you fill it in, you look through and go, oh, you know what, this week I'm a little shy on those veggies. Or, I only have one protein this week.
Right.
And, I know I need more protein than that. So maybe trying to then think of things that you can add in. So I think this is a really
That's
great.
really cool.
Yeah, really great, helpful visual. And again, this is on choosemyplate.gov. And it's totally interactive. You enter everything in, and then you can print it out when you're done.
That's cool. Well, there's so many resources out there.
Yeah.
Really cool things that can actually help us to eat healthy on a
So
budget
many.
or even on the run, right?
So many.
Because you could be sitting in the car waiting. Sometimes we're in traffic, whatever. You could go on the myplate.gov, as you mentioned, and just fill in your stuff as you're doing that.
I don't recommend it while you're driving.
Not when
yes.
you're driving, but when you're like in traffic and stuff like that.
Absolutely. I mean, technology, really can do so much for us.
Exactly.
And this is one way that you can really use technology to actually help you live a healthier life. So I think that's really beneficial.
Or should I say when you're waiting at the doctor's office? Not
there you go.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that we had an opportunity to do this part, especially this, because I'm going to be putting the app on my phone.
Yeah. So again, it's the ShopRite app. You can just download it on your phone. It's free. If you do need help grocery shopping, that's actually one of the services that dietitians provide in the ShopRites, is we will actually help do personalized shopping tours.
Oh, really?
It's really great. So, I mean, everyone has different goals in mind. We keep talking about everyone has different plans for what they want to do. So really, we can help you walk around and just find something that maybe you always get the same fruit, or you always get rice, and maybe you always rely on the same thing. So maybe we can help you find some new items that are still within your budget, but that are actually going to help give you some more variety and some more nutrition in your diet.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know about that one.
Yeah. So you can just
personal shopper here.
Exactly. So you can just go on to shoprite.com/wellness and click on health events if you want to find a dietitian near you, or you can call 1-800-ShopRite, and they can direct you towards the nearest dietitian.
Thanks again.
Yes, thanks for having me.
It's midday. And I'm just craving. Mine is just going. I don't even know what I want, but I'm just craving all these different things. And most of the time, you know what? It's nothing that's really helping for me.
Yeah.
So please help. I really need some help.
So Midday cravings are something that everyone struggles with, I think.
And midnight craving, too.
Midnight craving? I don't get up at midnight anymore, so I'm away from that one. But the midday cravings, I find with people that I counsel in the store, it doesn't matter how healthy they eat, doesn't matter what people do, at some point, everyone is going to be faced with that midday craving. So there's two things really that we can do that we're going to talk about to kind of help fight those midday cravings. And one of them actually starts with breakfast. So I'm not changing the subject. We're still talking about midday cravings. Don't get it all, don't worry. So the reason why I mentioned breakfast, we always hear breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And it's kind of something you've heard your mom say forever. And it actually really is true. Not that it's the most important, but it is really an essential part to your day. So we have shown that by adding some protein and some fiber into your breakfast first thing in the morning can actually help keep you full and help fight off those cravings starting your day.
Oh, wow.
So that can actually be a good way to kind of jumpstart your day in the right direction and kind of to get yourself ahead of all those midday cravings. If you're full and you're satisfied starting your day, you're going to, you're more likely to stay that way throughout the day. So some really great options could be an oatmeal. You can add some nuts and some berries onto that. Really great source of fiber. Berries are one of the highest fiber fruits that we have. So add some berries. The nuts we know are a really great source of fiber. Some good healthy fats in there too, and then some protein as well. And then oats. If you do a nice steel cut oat or even a rolled oat, it's something that's going to give you some fiber and also give you a little bit of protein. Awesome. So that could be a really good breakfast. Again, though, a lot of people rely on oatmeal. And I hear a lot of people who fall back on, I eat oatmeal every day, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not losing weight? Why am I still having cravings? Really, we need to add a little more to it.
Right.
Oatmeal is a great base, but really we want to add some extra fiber and extra protein to it.
Right.
So that can be a really great thing. If you like a sweet breakfast, if you're more of a savory breakfast person, I know there's people who need eggs every morning. Yeah, and they just, that's what they do. It's not going to change. So there's some good options for that as well. So ShopRite, we have some whole wheat sandwich thins that we sell. So something like that, doing a nice little sandwich thin with maybe a couple scrambled eggs and some low-fat cheese on that can give you a really, really great breakfast. And that's something you could take with you too.
That's true.
Because we're talking a lot about, things that are easy and quick, and everyone's in a rush these days. So that's something that you could actually just package up, take with you. You're going to get your fiber from the multigrain, from the whole wheat.
Right, your protein.
Bread. You're going to get some protein also from that, and then from the eggs, and then from the cheese as well. So it's going to give you kind of that protein fiber balance that we're looking for breakfast, which is going to help fight off all those cravings later on in the day. The second thing that we can talk about is actually, what if you did breakfast and you didn't make the best choice? Or what if you made a good choice, but you still get to the afternoon and you still get a craving? Not really anything we can do about going back and redoing breakfast. So what do we do when it happens? So I know a lot of packaged foods are not necessarily things that we think of as being the healthiest, but there's actually a lot of really great options out there that you can get. So things like, if you're looking for something maybe a little more salty snack, doing something like some carrots and some hummus or some whole grain crackers could be a really good option. And those are things that are easy to kind of throw into a container and take with you as well. Or throw in your lunchbox. If you know you're going to work and you always get the same craving in the afternoon, maybe pack yourself an extra snack.
Right.
Just to have that.
Yeah. I put that in my briefcase.
Yeah. I always have snacks. So the other thing, maybe it's more of a sweet craving. Things like yogurt, low-fat cottage cheese are great paired with fruit. So fruit, people think they can't eat fruits and veggies. They don't have time to do fruits and veggies. Really, fruit and veggies can be very easy. I mean, there's a lot of fruits and veggies that, they're kind of packed and ready to go. It's like the original convenience food, really. You take an apple and there's nothing else you need.
Exactly.
You take it and go. So doing maybe an apple and some yogurt could be a really good snack. And again, we're going to hit that same idea of some protein and some fiber. So really, we're trying to find snacks that are easy on the run, but that also are going to work for you.
Right.
They're not going to break your plan. They're not going to make you stressed out that you did the wrong thing that day. They're actually going to be beneficial to you. So all those are great. What about other things? What if you like to buy maybe things in bulk? You buy large bags of popcorn and large bags of snacks. So one of my other tricks, when I buy a large bag of something like that, as soon as I get home, if I know it's something that I plan on using for snacks during the week, as soon as I get home, I open the package up and I put it out into little individual portions. So one little serving, they make these bags that you can actually get that have markings on them to show the measurements. So you just put one portion in the bags. You can line, these are blueberries, so these obviously you'd want to keep in the fridge. But if it was something like crackers or popcorn, you can line them up in your pantry, throw an extra one in your bag, throw one in the car.
That's
just
so
kind of
cool.
hide, you know, it's not just about hiding unhealthy snacks. A lot of people want to hide away those unhealthy snacks for later. But, you know, hiding healthy snacks. Because one, it's going to give you something that, you know, when you hit your weakest point.
Right. You just don't go grab. Usually we go for the thing that is not the best for us.
Exactly. So really it's about, you know, planning ahead is so key, especially when it comes to these midday kind of cravings.
That's really, really cool. Well, I have, again, based on your class, I have those little baggies that I put things, even my frozen like corn and stuff like that. I've packaged them up, so when I'm ready to cook them, I know what the portion is, so I just dump it.
That's a great use for those. I love that.
Yeah,
I love that. You gave me a tip. I love it.
Well,
that's great.
There's a reciprocity here. But again, thank you so much for
Thank you
being
so much
here.
for having me.
How can people hear more about these great tips that you have, you know, additional tips that you have for us?
We are a wealth of tips at ShopRite. So if anyone's interested in seeing a ShopRite dietitian and, you know, giving a more personalized plan, everything that we've talked about in all of these segments has been really just kind of a general overview and some good tips that might be relevant, but everyone needs something more. So if you are looking for something more to what we just talked about, you can go on to shoprite.com/wellness and click on health events. And the whole list will be pulled up there of all the stores that have dietitians. You can find one in your area. Or you can go call 1-800-SHOP-RIGHT and ask for the dietitian nearest you, and they can give you the contact.
That's awesome. I loved all these segments that we did. And I really hope for my viewers that you learned something new that can actually change your life in a healthy way, and not to be a burden to you, but just to be able to incorporate into your daily hectic life that all of us have. So until next time, think positively.